There are a lot of negative misconceptions when it comes to video games. Some people believe all video games are bad for children. Meanwhile, some people believe video games are a waste of time in general. However, if played with proper guidance and moderation, then video games can be great hobbies. Video games are electronic games that people play on a platform such as a computer, laptop, or a gaming console. They are interactive and often offer a great escape from our stressful day-to-day lives. With its long history, it's no surprise that there are so many cool facts about video games, their creators, and players. If you're interested in learning more, then keep on watching for 30 video game facts. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more neat facts to discover the world one click at a time. Number 1. Most people consider Ralph Baer to be the father of video games. Ralph Baer was an engineer who invented the brown box in 1971. This inspired the creation of the Magnavox Odyssey in 1972. The Magnavox Odyssey was a video game console that used program cards for games. It was the first video game system to be sold on the market. Number 2. A physicist created one of the earliest video games ever. William Higginbottom was an American physicist. In October 1958, he created Tennis for Two. This video game simulates a game of tennis, and it was displayed on an oscilloscope instead of an LED screen. Number 3. There are different types of gaming consoles. There are 3 types of gaming consoles: the home video game consoles, handheld consoles, and hybrid consoles. The home video game consoles must be connected to a TV or monitor, such as the Xbox and PlayStation. On the other hand, handheld consoles are portable consoles that have their own displays and controls. An example is the Gameboy. A hybrid console can function as a home video game console and a handheld one. An example is the Nintendo Switch. Number 4. The Fairchild Channel F console was the very first console that had game cartridges. In August 1976, the Fairchild Channel F was released. It uses a ROM cartridge-based video game console. It is also the first one to use a microprocessor. Number 5. On the other hand, the Vectrex Gaming Console was the first console to have touch control. Before Vectrex, most video game consoles had to be connected to a TV. Vectrex was a console with its own monitor and a detachable wired controller. Released in 1982, it was the first of its kind and quickly became popular. Unfortunately, it was eventually discontinued in 1984. Number 6. The first eSports tournament happened in the 1970s. The Laboratory of Artificial Intelligence at Stanford University organized an eSports tournament on October 19, 1972. The Intergalactic Space War Olympics was the first ever eSports tournament in the world. There was no cash prize then, but Stuart Brand, a biology student who won first place, received a subscription to Rolling Stones. Number 7. Battlezone was the first successful game in 3D. Atari released Battlezone in 1981. This arcade game was the first ever successful 3D game in history. In 1982, the 3rd Annual Archie Awards awarded Battlezone with the title Best Commercial Arcade Game. Number 8. The earliest role-playing game, or RPG, on a console was released in the 1980s. Released in 1982, Dragon Stomper was the first of its kind. Dragon Stomper was not as popular as Atari's other games, but a lot of critics praised its detail and story depth. Number 9. During production, Pac-Man's name was Puckman. The iconic game Pac-Man is known by many. However, its original name was Puckman because designers saw it resembled a hockey puck. Game developers had great foresight, however, as they believed vandals might deface or disrespect the name. Eventually, they settled on Pac-Man. Number 10. Billy Mitchell was the first person to reach the end of Pac-Man. During its development, the creators of Pac-Man weren't entirely sure of the game's ending since they designed it to run infinitely. However, player Billy Mitchell reached the end after perfecting all stages in 1999. The game developers recognized his feat by branding him the video game player of the century. Number 11. The largest arcade machine ever is over 14 feet tall and 6 feet wide. Jason Camberes set the Guinness World Record for the largest arcade machine on March 23, 2014, when he presented his massive Arcade Deluxe cabinet. It could play Pac-Man and many other arcade games. Number 12. The biggest video game collector in the world has over 20,000 games. Antonio Montiero's video game collection had 20,139 video games when he registered it with the Guinness World Records. His extensive collection featured games from 2nd to 8th generation consoles, and he had over 100 devices too. His collection was so big that it took Guinness 8 days to finish counting them all. Number 13. The world record for blowing into cartridges is a total of 43 cartridges within 20 seconds. On The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, Kamal Gray from The Roots set a world record. He blew into 43 video game cartridges within an impressive 20 seconds. Number 14. The longest video game session is 138 hours and 34 seconds long. Carrie Swadecki spent over 5 days playing Just Dance 2015 at Autos Video Games and More in Bakersfield, California. She played the game non-stop from July 11 to July 17 in the year 2015. Number 15. Duke Nukem Forever is the longest developed game. Duke Nukem Forever is a first-person shooter action game. It took 14 years for this game to finish development. It started off in 1997 and was finally released in 2011. Number 16. The first video game console played in outer space was the Game Boy. The Soyuz 17 rocket brought a Game Boy console with them to the Mir space station in 1993. With it, Russian cosmonaut Alexander A. Serebrov played Tetris during his free time. The console was eventually auctioned off for $1,220. Number 17. The longest running video game is Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Fans know all about how painstaking the games in the Monster Hunter franchise are. In Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, players take an average of 693 hours to finish the entire game. Number 18. Most of the best-selling video games in the industry are from Nintendo. Some examples include Pokemon, The Legend of Zelda, and Animal Crossing. Nintendo's best-selling video game franchise, however, is Mario. The Mario franchise has earned them over $676 million in worldwide sales. Number 19. To this day, the best-selling video game ever is Minecraft. Minecraft started off as an indie game created by Marcus Alexei Persson. However, Microsoft bought the game, and Minecraft eventually expanded into other platforms. With over $180 million sales, Minecraft was able to beat Tetris' record. Number 20. In Minecraft, the world has a surface area that is 9 million times larger than the Earth's. The sandbox game Minecraft can go on and on. With a surface area that is 9,258,235 times larger than the Earth's, players can have as much fun as they want. Number 21. Super Mario Land has a dark side. In the original Super Mario game, you had to jump and hop onto little squares. According to the lore, these squares are actually citizens of the Mushroom Kingdom. They were cursed and turned into blocks by the Koopas. Number 22. The notoriously difficult video game Dark Souls was completed by a gamer using a rock band guitar. Dark Souls is known among many to be an incredibly difficult game to play, let alone beat. Gamer Benjamin Beardsley Gwynn completed an impressive feat. He beat Dark Souls with a rock band guitar instead of the traditional controller. After this, he also tried runs with a rock band drum kit, piano, dance mat, and other unique controls. Number 23. The best-selling games on Game Boy are Pokemon Red and Pokemon Green. Many consider Pokemon to be a timeless game that people of all ages can play. Despite having many sequels and spin-offs, Pokemon's first-generation games continue to be popular. In fact, the first-generation Pokemon games, specifically Red and Green, are some of the best-selling Game Boy games ever, with over 31 million copies sold. Number 24. Grand Theft Auto was originally a racing game. The popular Grand Theft Auto franchise was supposed to be called Race and Chase. However, a glitch during its test run led police cars attacking the player. The glitch turns out to be a fortunate accident, as testers enjoyed it much better that way. This led to a lot of revisions, until the developers successfully built the rich world and story of Grand Theft Auto. Number 25. The trademark fog in the game Silent Hill was multifunctional. Originally, developers added a thick fog into the game because of hardware limitations. The constant fog meant less rendering, and this solved a lot of the issues that kept the game from being playable. It still worked in the game's favor, however, as many fans loved how the fog made the horror game much scarier. Number 26. Without ever leaving the starting zone, a man reached level 90 in World of Warcraft. Video game player Double Agent spent 173.5 days grinding in World of Warcraft. Grinding is a term that players use to refer to doing repetitive tasks within a video game to get items or accomplish a goal. In Double Agent's case, he was mining and picking herbs repeatedly for 173.5 days. Number 27. The youngest professional gamer was 11 years old. Victor De Leon III, or Lil Poison, was only 11 years old when he signed on as a professional gamer with Major League Gaming. Number 28. The US military uses video games to train their soldiers. Military training isn't always about crawling across the mud and climbing ropes. Sometimes tank gunners will also train using video games. The US military uses the 3D game Battlezone to train a tank gunner's aim. Number 20. People who often play video games are more likely to have lucid dreams. Because video games are so interactive, they stimulate our minds and motor skills. This might be why it's easier for avid gamers to be lucid dreamers. The various stimuli from video games affect their sleeping patterns, including their dreams. Number 30. According to scientists, playing Tetris can curb all kinds of cravings. Studies showed playing Tetris helped people crave sex, drugs, and food a lot less. It might have something to do with the fact that Tetris can apparently lessen impulsive behavior. If you're looking to curb some of your cravings, then this popular game might be the answer. As technology advances, video games will continue to develop as well. There are sure to be new games to come, but plenty of those from the classics mentioned here will continue to be loved by many too. This means there's always something new or old that you can pick up, making playing video games a great hobby or pastime. Of course, don't forget to play within moderation. That way you can keep having fun while staying safe and responsible. If you enjoyed our video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more facts videos.